Alright, here we go. This episode is brought to you by The Energy Album by Rob D. Inaccurate, now streaming on all platforms. The Energy Album is fully produced by Accurate with some co-production by yours truly. The album features El Paso local artists like Acribe and Bosir, G&D, and Bones. Stream the Energy album today and help support an EP artist. This episode will not be brought to you by COVID. Fuck that. Alright, here we go. Another episode. So, just a little quick COVID update. Basically, I think you could hear it in my voice. We are feeling a little bit better. I don't even know what day this is yet. But, um, my wife, like I had said before, she's the one that had gotten it really bad last time. She is looking way, way, way better. We're not completely out of it yet, but we are doing way better than we were a few days ago. Um, as of right now, the symptoms that I have is what is it? Congestion. Ah, congestion. And what else? Congestion, and I think that's pretty much. Oh yeah, back pain. Well, like right now, my back pain isn't that bad, but it comes and goes. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. My wife, she has more, back pain as well. She said I think her head still kind of hurts too. Congestion too. She has, congestion. So, we're hopefully we're on the second half of this stuff, but by no means this. Like yesterday was kind of weird because I was feeling like I was getting better Thursday and Friday. So I figured, okay, by the weekend I should be, you know, at my best, whatever. Almost out of it. And yesterday, man, I felt like shit. And one of the things that I've noticed with this thing is that mornings suck. It's almost like your body like resets. Like your body tries to like deal with it the whole day, and then by the end of the night, the end of the day is when we feel the best. And I think it has something to do with like your body, like, okay, all right, here we go, there you go, like the whole day is just trying to figure this shit out. All right, okay, tweaking here, tweaking there, okay, all right. So by the time the nighttime comes, we feel decent. We don't, of course, we don't feel 100%. No way. But we feel decent. We feel decent enough to, like, do some stuff around the house, whatever the case may be. But the mornings, oh man, it's like we I don't even know what the word is, but it's like we take steps back, And yesterday it was, I think this shit fucks with, or I don't know. I can only say my experience, right? This shit has fucked with me, let alone physically, but mentally. Mentally, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I don't know. I can't figure it out yet. I'm in it, so hopefully some time passes by and I can describe this a little bit better in the future. But the mornings, man, it's just like this isn't, of course, it's not no regular sickness, right? And I could feel it because I wake up and I think I feel like shit. Like I thought I was already over this, to where like a regular sickness, cold, flu, whatever. However better you felt the day before, you pick up you pick up from that point the next day, and then you get better. This shit this shit sets you back. So then you wake up and you're like, "What the fuck, man? I thought we were already over this, but nope, not the case." And it's just it's frustrating because it's like, okay, here we go again. How long is it gonna take? So it's a constant physical battle, but it's also a constant mental battle, and I think that is what frustrates the shit out of me, the mental part, cause that's I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but it's just I I am very well mentally like strong. You know what I mean? Like okay, fuck it. I'll get through it. I'll get through it. I'll get through it. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. So when anything affects my mental, I feel powerless. If it's frustrating because I'm like, God damn it, man. Now what? You know, that's one of the reasons why I didn't like Insidious, the movie. I know all of you have seen it by now. When we first saw that movie, I was I don't like scary movies at all. I fucking hate them. Call me a little bitch, whatever. Yes, I am, whatever. But that movie we went to go see at the movies, and I was like, whatever. Before then we had already seen, I don't even remember the movies, but we had tried out a few movies and they all sucked, And I was like, all right, well, whatever. Like I don't pay attention to them. This fucking movie here, it I hate this movie so much because it fucks with you mentally, right? So I got sucked into the story, and I shouldn't have opened myself up like that, because I got the way I watch movies is like, even if I know what's gonna happen, I'm like I like to play dumb and like, oh no, I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh wow, I didn't see that coming. The movie has to be a real piece of shit for me to get up and walk away. So I'm watching this movie and I'm seeing everything develop. Next thing you know, that shit sucked me in, and it crept into my head. So all those creepy parts, the whole story behind, you know, that movie is, mentally how it creeps into your brain and stuff. And I let that shit fuck with me. So for a few days, I couldn't shake that shit off, and that's why I hate that fucking movie so bad. So I say that to say, the way this sickness has been, the way I've been dealing with it is mentally, it's been fucking with me too. So it's a constant battle of, highs and lows. Oh, another symptom. Well, I don't know if this is a symptom too, but I've been having some fucked up dreams, like extreme negative dreams since this shit started, you know? And I'm talking like deaths. I'm talking like lost relationships. I'm talking, anything big negative that you think of, like ugly, ugly, and they all feel real. And when I wake up, I'm so tired that, I want to go back to sleep because I'm so tired, but I don't want to go back to sleep because the dream was so fucked up and I don't want to pick up where I left off. So I've been, that's another thing too. Um, so mentally, that I think that's even harder than the physically. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm trying to figure this shit out, and I can't seem to figure it out. Um, but I'm happy to say that no, even last night I did have a fucked up dream. No, I mean they've been coming ever since Sunday. I've had a fucked up dream every night, and it's just been a roller coaster of emotions. Deja tu, like physically how we've been feeling, but emotionally for me, man, it's been a doozy. It's been a doozy. Like I take in the really negatives and I take in the real positives. You know what I mean? So it almost feels like I'm on my man rag or something, Um, but I don't know. Hopefully this week, we'll turn a better page. Which is, overall we have been feeling better. But like I said, we're not out of the woods yet by a long shot. Um, what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, so Thursday and Friday I was feeling pretty good, and dealing with this whole school thing. Like I told you last time, I was the one that was kind of guiding the kids while they were going to school and stuff, which is cool, no problem. I'm glad my wife was able to recover the way she did. But it did teach me something. It taught me how, not that I did, but you kind of your focus changes on certain things. While I was home and stuff, and I really, really do appreciate my kids because they bring me so much joy, man. Like anybody that knows me knows I'm big on family. Like, this whole music thing that we're trying to do, that we're gonna do, is I want to be able to mold it into whatever we want to do. You know what I mean? And part of it is so I can have time with my family, so I can provide for my family. You know what I mean? Because they're my biggest thing, and I know, sacrifices are gonna have to come and all that stuff. But you know, I've told my daughter more than my son really. Recently I told her, like, I want to make sure you know, I become successful in this. That way I can choose what I want to do when I want to do it. But sacrifice has to come with this thing. I understand that I have to be away for long periods of time, and all this stuff. But to me, that sacrifice is worth it because when I do choose to, you know, spend my time with them, then it'll be that more valuable and I don't have to report myself to anybody. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the whole being your own boss thing. I just don't want to run that thing into the ground even more cuz, I could just sit here and say I want to be my own boss, man. Yeah, I'm a hustler. And that's not it. I just want to live life the way I want to live it, you know? And I don't think it's ever too late. Um it's kind of like this whole thing I have with the back and forth with the music thing, like I've been in and out of this whole music thing for more than 10 years probably. And part of it is holding myself back, being quote unquote realistic, you know, being insecure, being like, people around you, being like, oh, really? That's what you're going to do? Really? Or even me, myself, is like, come on, Robert, think, be real with yourself. You have a family, you need to provide, you need this, you need, so, are you going to be making money right away? No. And it's just bringing that whole thing down. But the constant is that I drop it and then I try to like, get a job, which I mean, I actually do get a job and, thank God we've been able to progress, little by little. But somehow the music thing just comes back around. It's just like, hey, and at that point in time, there's always something that's holding me back, like, oh, technology isn't where it's at. I need to go to a studio. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. I can't do it on my own. What does that mean? Money. Well, I need to pay money to do this. I need to get money for this. I need to get money for that. From getting a beat to getting recorded to getting mixed to getting mastered to the gas, to the time. Dad, you're gonna leave again. So it's just like, oh my God. So I would just like, you know what, whatever, and then I would stop. You know, and then somehow, years later, I would get that itch again and just be like, I wonder if I could still do this. And I don't think there's a question that I have gotten better technically, but I think the whole thing is, you know, the the, the opportunities, the resources, everything. That's what would kind of like hold me back. Till this time around, what is it, like a year ago now, or maybe 2 years ago, where I was like, you know what, I'm really gonna try my best. I want to make sure I could say I did this to the best of my ability, and let's see where it takes us. And that's what I've been doing, and thank God, I've met the people that I met. I've learned, I've, got out and gotten resources. That's why last episode I said, like, it's so important. That's what I've learned, is that it's so important to invest in yourself because now, I'm going to sound like a broken fucking record, but everybody needs to hear this, from time to time, even me, you know. You need to rely on yourself the most that you can. That way you don't rely on anybody else, It's good to get help, but like to rely, and again, this podcast is a good example of that because again, like I said before, I just come in here, turn the mic on, turn the laptop on, start recording, and that's it. I'm not waiting for so and so to come in. Oh wait, so and so can't come in to record me because I have COVID. Wah wah wah. You know? none of that is the case. So it's all on me. And that's how it should be. Now, you build your own shit, then you come together with, someone else that could provide some other shit, and you build on that. Hence the Energy album, which is what we did. And I think collaborating is, it's not used enough. And I think, the egos hinder us. And I think once we get to that point to where like we can see past that and see the big picture, then we can all help each other reach our goals, you know. And again, not depending on people, but helping each other, selflessly. I hear how good the Bay Area is with their artists, how they don't charge each other. They just reach out and they're like, "Hey, I got something for you. Cool, I got something for you." And they just do it just to do it out of the love. And they're not insecure about each other because everybody has their different styles. Everybody brings something different to the table, and I just want to see you win. And if I can help you win, then that's good. That's good to me. That brings me joy. Same thing in Houston. From what I hear. Now I'm no expert. I'm just telling you what I've heard. And it's the same thing. So, hey, I got something you want to get on? Yeah, sure. You know, don't speak about money. And then and then same thing. Hey, you know, it's kind of like you scratch my no, what is it? I scratch your back, you scratch mine, or you scratch mine, I scratch yours, whatever. You know what I mean? And and that's all it is. And we see each other win, and we move on. We build a good relationship, and that's it. And I think that's possible everywhere. It's just that these egos and these insecurities and this whole, is this person better than me? Is this person gonna kill me on my own track? Is this person like, all that shit is just poison. There has to be a better way. But anyways, I digress because with some of these people, it's like talking to a wall. But I hope you understand my point. Um, but anyways, back to my kids, right? So I um I really love these kids, man. Um, like I think there's something to be said about a kid's innocence, and I see it. You know what I mean? And that makes me feel so good. And I wasn't feeling at my best sometimes, and my son is like a big ball of love around the house, and him just telling me, I love you, dad, or whatever it is, like, man, we're so used to this around the house that pobrecito. Sometimes we even tell him like, yes, okay, Idris, we get it, to where it's like, oh, like, okay, I'm sorry. But it's just he says it so much, and I think now during this past week I have been feeding off of that shit. So I just welcome it with open arms. Like, I mean, I always do. Don't get me wrong, but we're so caught. I am so caught up with life sometimes that it's just like, okay, my wheels are going, my wheels are going, my wheels are going, and then like, I love you, dad. I love you too. I love you, dad. I love you too. I love you. I love you too. Like, it's just at a certain point, like, all right, we said it. Like, chill. But I think, or no, I know I'm wrong by doing that. I shouldn't be doing that. That's part of how kids lose that special thing. You know what I mean? And I don't think we should brush that away. And if I've learned anything from this past week, is that, don't take shit for granted, even the little things. You know what I mean? My daughter, I mean, she's this shit too. But it's, she's 11 going on fucking, I don't know, fucking 30. But she shows love in a different way too. But, it's, I don't know, it's this special thing that has made sure it stood out to me during this week, where I'm just like, man, these kids are the shit, man. We need kids in our lives somehow. We need those little bundles of joy to just like, like, how are you going to explain stress to them? How are you going to explain, like, look, man, this and this and this? They just look at you with the blank stare, like, you want to play? Like, they don't care. And to some point, I hold on to that myself in me. It's just, lately, before the COVID, I'm not gonna lie, I really wasn't in a good place, and it's almost like this shit hit us, and well, me, right, me. When this shit hit me, it's almost like, okay, Robert, you're not being yourself lately, and I don't like where you're going, and I need to sit you down. You need to sit down, and you need to reevaluate. And I think that's what happened. I got sit on my ass, and I started just noticing the little things. I'm telling you, man, like I everything has been heightened. You know what I mean? Like I walk around, I live life with like a knot in my throat. You know what I mean? Like a knot in my chest because I have all these emotions, but I don't know how to deal with them. And that's what my wife always, makes fun of me because she says, like, you're so out of touch with your feelings. And I tell her, I was like, yeah, probably, because of shit that I've been through. You know what I mean? And right now, it's almost like I'm on this thing where it's just like everything has just been, everything's heightened. You know what I mean? If I'm happy, I'm really happy and I want to cry. And then, like, if I'm sad, I'm really sad and I want to cry. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and it's like, holy shit, man. But I've kind of had to face that. And I'm liking what it's turning into. You know what I mean? And like appreciating, like I mentioned last episode, we have family that we're lucky enough to have family that goes out and gets us stuff, brings it back and stuff, and I'm really appreciative for that. And when it happens, it's just like, I appreciate, and then like, and then like I get a knot in my throat and I want to cry, and it's just like I need to get over like calling myself stupid and just appreciate it just because there's nothing wrong with that. And but yeah, it's been an interesting, very interesting week. But I, at while you go through it, I don't think anybody would like to go through it. But I am liking what I'm seeing at the end of the tunnel. Um, um, I like to. Oh, also, another symptom too, and I've heard of this one, like not leaving anytime soon, is the mental fog. Jeez, man, I have that. I definitely have that to where it's just like I don't. Sometimes I just can't figure things out. Like right now, I'm talking, and I'm just. It's really all just. I'm just letting you know what's in my head. You know what I mean? But then when you bring a math problem to me, and it's a complex math problem that I've never done in like since high school, since middle school, and you put it in front of me, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, and then to shake off the cobwebs and everything, I'm just like, I I don't even know where to start, you know? And it goes to like those complex things to like I get up and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got to go whatever. I got to go get my slippers." So I get up and I'm walking down the hallway and I stop and I'm like, what was I going to get?" And I just end up walking back cuz I'm like, I don't remember. And either I don't remember or it'll pop in my head like, minutes, hours later maybe. And I'm like, oh shit, whatever happened? Oh yeah, that's right. And I'll get up and I'll go. So it's just things like that, I'm thirsty. I'm gonna go get some juice. And then I'll get up, take a few steps, and I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing? I'm getting a lot of that, like what was I doing? What was I gonna do? Um, um, but yeah, so I think me and my wife balance each other out because she was helping my daughter out with some work last night, as a matter of fact, to where I was like, I can't figure it out, and then by the time I would figure it out, I'd have to explain it. I'd have to explain it to my daughter like this is what you do, and I had no mental strength to do that. I couldn't explain myself cuz I barely figured it out, and I told her, I was like, I know what to do. I just can't explain it to you. And she looked at me like, the fuck are you talking about? But, I was like, okay, let's go see if mom can help you out. And luckily, thank God, after, a long time, Um, they were able to figure it out. But then, like I was telling my wife, but then you put me in front of my son and his work, he's in first grade, and all it is really is being patient, and have him figure it out. Now, call me stupid, call me dumb, but you know, you can't compare. My daughter's in the sixth grade. I can't explain sixth grade math to you, but I can explain first grade math. I'm patient with that. So, but that's where me and my wife balance each other out because she's not patient. She wants to like, here, let me just fucking do it for you already because it's so simple. But I put myself in my son's shoes and I'm like, okay, he has to figure this out. I can't do this for him. All I have to do is sit here and be patient and wait for him to figure it out. Okay, I can do that. So that's when she says, see, I can't do that. I'd rather help her. And I'm like, yeah, see, I'm the other way around. I'd rather help him. So, man, I am really blessed to have my wife in my life because we balance each other out really good. We're a really, really good team. And I love her to death. And I've been needing her this past week so bad, man, because I don't know how to take care of myself. Usually she gets sick, I'll take over. And then if I get sick, she'll take over. But this whole thing of both of us having to like man the ship and stuff, like we're both down and we can't rely on each other. Oh man, it has been this has been a big big lesson, and this is part of like when we sometimes we'll talk and we'll be like, man, you spoil us, and she's like, but I just want to be there for you guys, I just want to make sure I take care of you guys, which is cool, but I don't know how to do a lot of things as far as like around the house and stuff. I don't know how to cook, I don't know how to do certain things, but I need to learn how to do it. Anybody that knows us knows that my son prefers his scrambled eggs done by my wife only. There's something about him, right? And this past year, I pride my this past year, the this past week, there's I'm very proud of myself because I've been doing his scrambled eggs every morning, and he's been okay with them. So I've told him, the first time around, he's like, Dad, what is it? No, this isn't how mom makes them. I'm like, okay, hold on. Give me another chance. I'll try to do it again. And he gets grossed out when it gets toasted, basically. So it has to be like, no, he says no dark parts, you know. So I have to make sure I pay attention and flip that motherfucker when it's time to flip it, you know. If not, my daughter will eat it, but still, I want to learn. And thankfully, now he trusts he trusts my egg scrambling cooking skills at least for that. So I have learned something here. Um, um, and it has been fun. I do like spending time with my kids and my family. Really, it's just the whole stress of like, not right now. I don't have time. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this. I need to do that. To where it's like, nope, you don't have to do anything. Just rest, just sit, just be with them. It's like, okay, cool. You know, and like I said at the beginning, I want to make. I want to live life to where I choose to do that without having to get fucking COVID, without having to be sick, being forced to sit down and do that. I want to be able to do that whenever I want, and it'll happen, and hopefully you guys will follow us through that journey. It's just everybody has to start somewhere, you know what I mean? And again, hopefully, this podcast is for, hopefully it does give you motivation to tweak your life around, and we could go through that journey together cuz like I said, I'm here to help, hopefully you are too. And it just feels good to let people know like you feel like shit, I feel like shit too. But you know what? We're on this mission and we're going to figure life out and we're going to help each other out cuz I don't think living life miserable or with shoulda, coulda, wouldas or any of this stuff is the way to live life. I don't want to live life like that. You know, that's why like 2 years ago I made it a point to like, no, I want to make sure I do not live with regret. What's the number one thing that I want to do? I want to do this music thing. I want to make a living off of it. Okay. I'm gonna make a living off of it. Okay. So then figure this shit out. All right. And then just, but I am being honest with myself. This is what I want to do. This is what I have to do. Okay, cool. And all these little things, that I'm picking up along the way, I don't mind sharing them with you because maybe this will spark an idea in your head. This whole podcast thing is just another, like, hey, you know, maybe you haven't given my music a chance. Well, let me just talk to you then, and then maybe you could catch the vibe that I'm on. Maybe you can understand me as a person better. Then you go back and listen to my music, then be like, oh, okay, I get it. He just sounded like a dick, but he's not. Because I'm really not talking about anybody or about specific people or anything like that. Whenever I sound mean or anything, I'm really just talking to myself because that's how I talk to myself. That voice in my head is very mean to me, but I have to be because if not, I will not move. I know myself, and hopefully you guys catch that. But yeah, so, this podcast, the music thing is the main thing that we want to move, that I want to move, that I will move. And this podcast is just a branch of that, really. And another branch too is, I really want to learn how to make my own merch. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me, post here and there about how I do the whole screen printing. I'm still learning, but I've gone from hiring, people to do it, which is cool. But, if I could do it, then, that's just something else under my belt that maybe I can offer someone else, that help. Um, and it's been pretty cool. It's been fun. I have learned though that screen printing is, it's messy. It's messy and it's very time delicate. It's very like you need to hurry up and you need to watch this and you need to do that and you need to, and there's a lot of trial and error like there is with everything. But this shit is very permanent. You if you fuck up a print, that's it. So you have to learn like how do you like you gotta find out like what do I print on that I could just keep on printing, and is it okay if I just keep on fucking up, you know? And and ink and all that other stuff, So it's been cool to like figure it out, but I mean it's a good skill to learn, and I'm glad I learned it. I'm not a master on it, of course, but it is pretty cool. But something that I have been looking into is heat pressing, because heat pressing is way first of all, and the number one thing that attracts me to it is that it's so not messy. You know, it's just pressing shit, and this is like how technology has evolved to where it's not patches. We're not talking about those old school patches that you used to put on your fucking jean jacket and shit. We're talking like sophisticated shit to where like the patterns are, I don't know. That mental fog I was talking about earlier? Yeah, it's kicking me in the ass right now. Heat pressing, what you press on is basically like these printings that are done with ink. The same ink that's being used to screen print. It's just it's a different animal. You know what I mean? But again, the number one thing that has attracted me to it is the whole neatness. All you do is cut it out, place it on the garment, and, press it, and that's it. And you're good to go. So I'm really looking into that now. You know, like everything else, it's just that one factor that you got to get over. And but the information's out there. You just gotta figure it out and jump in the pool when you're ready. But I'll let you guys know how that goes if I do decide, or who knows. The whole idea is just learn. That way when the time comes, everything is already set and done, and you guys can help spread the word, and more people will find out about all these things I have going on, we have going on, and help each other out. You know what I mean? That's why like I have no problem having guests on here. I have no problem asking people to get on here. I'm not gonna wait till everybody comes to me. I'm interested in people. Um, yeah, hopefully, um, everything is already set out. It will be set out, to where when we're doing shows and we're touring and we're doing all this, hopefully we can be the ones that are doing everything mostly ourselves, you know what I mean? Cuz doing this research about this whole music thing, that's what I've learned, The more you do on your own, the better off you'll be. So I'm not looking to get a record deal. I don't want that. I want to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, however I want to do it. And I know that's going to cost a lot of work, and I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be a household name if that's the case. You know what I mean? I want to be able to live my life the way I want. That's number one. Everything else is everything else. I want to be the best artist that I can be. I'm not looking at anybody, you know, um, world renowned, in my state or in my city that I'm like, I have to be better than this person. I don't look at none of that shit. That means absolutely nothing to me. I want to be the best me that I can be and learn. And it will happen, and I know good things come from that. So that's going to be it, guys. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for listening again. And I'll drop this shit whenever the fuck I feel like dropping it. All right? Thanks.